So the first one we're going to do is a prawn with a chimichurri dressing. So when it comes to buying prawns in Australia, you're best off to buy frozen. We don't really have a fresh prawn in WA. Most of the prawn fishing grounds are from, Shark Bay, Exmouth, Gulf of Carpentaria, and they go fishing for 3 to 4 weeks, even longer sometimes. And so they snap freeze these prawns on the boat, and then us as wholesalers receive frozen prawns. So what's important about prawn cooking is the best way to defrost. That's what you should be, trying to work out, not trying to find the freshest prawns. We receive 10 5-kilo cartons of prawns, and then we repack them. So we pack them into 500 gram bags or 1 kilo bags. The best way to buy your prawns are in a 5-kilo carton or a 10-kilo carton. That way, exactly how they've packed them on the boat is exactly how you receive them. So minus 20 out of your freezer. The best way to defrost these is cold running water or in the fridge overnight. But I recommend cold running water when you want to use them. And we'll demonstrate that right now on how quick and easy it is. So these prawns have more or less just come straight out of the freezer. It's a good chance to smell. If your prawns smell at this stage, they're bad. If anything you pull out of your freezer and you smell, if it smells bad, chances are it's bad. So as you can see, there's ice particles around these prawns. But what you're looking for here is that the head is very similar colour to the body. If these heads are already starting to go really black, they're already starting to deteriorate. So these are a Shark Bay king prawn, cold running water. So what's going to happen now is that the cold air falls, hot air rises. So the cold water at the top is going to go down the bottom. So the bottom part of these prawns, or this bowl, is going to be the coldest. And as you can see, within 2 minutes, these prawns are already starting to defrost. So it doesn't take long, it's just about understanding the process. Okay, so peeling prawns, head off. And if you actually pull the head just gently, you can actually grab the intestinal tract and devein then and there. So now we don't actually, that prawn's deveined. Quick roll, and you bring 3 or 4 segments off. Another roll, and this is what we call a prawn cutlet. The reason we leave the tail on is presentation. It makes the prawn look a lot bigger. Plus, when this goes nice and red, it looks quite nice. Plus, it's also something to pick it up with, eat it, squeeze the back piece of this tail, and the flesh will come out as well. Alrighty, so when we're cooking these prawns, I have pretty much deveined most of them. With a Shark Bay king prawn, I don't devein them. Even still, I'm going to cut down the back of these prawns and make an incision. And pretty much try and cut all the way through. Because that way when they cook, they'll curl up and once again they'll make the prawn look bigger. So it's always that visual side of things that make people go, wow, look, that prawn's not that big, but now it is. So, and then I line them all up in the same way. Okay, so salt and pepper, always, whenever I'm cooking any fish. This is a good West Australian salt from Lake Deborah. And we're going to use the grapeseed oil. So what I like to always say is make them cuddle. So while they're cooking away, but they're probably going to take 3 to 4 minutes each side. And all you're looking for is that prawn to start to change colour. As you can see, it's that opaque sort of colour at the moment. And we want it to go to that popping red and white colour. So this recipe is purely about your flavours. If you really want to put more coriander, if you want to put more basil, more parsley, do that. So we're going to put in some parsley, some basil. Okay, we've got some mint. Mint and seafood go fantastic together. Then we've got some coriander. I like coriander, so I put a fair bit of coriander in there. I've got 1 garlic clove. Actually, we're using fresh garlic, so because we're not cooking this, you don't want to put too much garlic in. And a green chilli. I'll probably only put half because I don't know green's usually not as hot either, but I don't know what everyone's like with chilli. And if you wanted to get the seeds out, I'm just doing that straight on the floor. Give it a bang. That shouldn't have any seeds in there now. So we just want to turn this into a fine dice. In the recipe there was it says red wine vinegar. When I went into Melbourne yesterday, I saw they had this Maggie Beer verjuice. So verjuice is a little bit sweeter. So I'm gonna use this as opposed to red wine vinegar. And that way I won't need to add as much sugar. Then we must taste before we, it's not going to need much sugar at all. So all we're doing now is blending in the sugar. Good quality olive oil. This is a Meneghello estate from Margaret River, cold pressed. So local, good oil. There's a fair bit of oil that goes into this. Now what we want to do now is make sure we don't blitz that for too long. Otherwise, your oil is going to emulsify. So we throw in just a couple of lemon wedges. So there's our first little recipe. We've got Shark Bay grilled prawns with a chimichurri dressing, which you can now create and make your own.